Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Stationfall. I'm the Mysterious JG. We've got 11 points out of 80. This seems to be moving a bit slower than Planetfall did. I believe this is a longer game. There certainly seems like there's more places to visit. But for now, we've gotten into an engineering office and we read a diary where a guy's explaining that shit's going south. We go back to the engineering lab. I remember we can go up or down, so let's try going up. That takes us to the Astro Lab. This laboratory conducts research into various space-related physical sciences. Gangways lead up and down, and there's a door to the north. You see a 20-prong Frommets board here. Get bored. I hope you guys aren't bored already. Take it. The door to the north. The Astro Office. This is a small office associated with the Astro Lab to the south. Search office. First research of the room reveals nothing new. South, and then up again, scientist quarters. This cramped living area has cubicles for the dozen or so scientists and engineers working in this submodule. The only exit is a gangway leading down, so we can go down, down, down. Biolab. We've had trouble with biolabs before in the Fall series, the Folger series. Various biological sciences, as they relate to the environment of space, are studied in this laboratory. There's a gangway leading up and another leading down, and a door leading north. Floyd bounds into the room. "Floyd, here now," he cries. You notice that Plato has also roamed into view behind Floyd, once again absorbed in his reading. Let's go north. Bio office. This is a small office associated with the bio lab to the south. Lying on one of the desks is a scribbled note. Get note. Taken. Read note. Schmidt, why didn't I see it until... Oh. Schmidt, why didn't I see it until now? Just think of the station as a cell and the pyramid as a mechanized bacterioff. The note ends at that point. There seems to be some reddish-brown stains on it. That would be blood. Floyd complains about a recent assignment in the forms filing department. Open desk. You merely find a few personal items of little interest. South, down. Holding tank level. The lowest level of the submodule is filled mostly by an isolation tank, whose dual purpose is to protect certain items from contamination by humans and protect humans from contamination by certain items. A gangway is the only exit. The thick side of the wall of the tank has been blasted open, and the tank is completely empty. Search tank. Ooh, okay, so we found a holding tank. The welders are still trying to kill us. Welders are really still trying to kill us. We go down to level 6 now. But yeah, we found a holding tank in the biolab, which has been burst open, and there's nothing in it. So apparently there's something that was in the biolab wandering around the station. The elevator button is east of you. Oh, wait. Did they put that pyramid in the holding tank? The pyramid from the alien ship? Maybe? I don't know. Elevator button is east of you, next to the elevator shaft. This main corridor continues around the shaft to the southeast. Huge doors lie just northwest and southwest of here. Smaller doors lead north and south, and a ladder leads both upwards and downwards. I'm going to save. Let's go northwest. Docking bay number 1. This is the station's largest docking bay. Remember? Docking bay 1 was occupied. That's why we diverted. A huge door to the east leads into the station. Resting in the docking bay is a small ship of obviously alien origin. An open hatch seems to beckon you inward. Look at ship. Ship is of totally unfamiliar design. Something about it makes your skin crawl. They play some hider-seeker. Enter ship. Alien ship. Something about this cabin makes your skin crawl. I mean, I like Moretsky, but he's not really giving us a lot of descriptive text of this ship, is he? I'm reminded of the rather bizarre, like, for some reason, I was on, like, a second Doctor Who kick, and I picked up any, like, and these were in cassette tape form, so I don't even know if I could listen to them anymore. But, some of the like lost stories of the first and second Doctor from Doctor Who, they did audio recording versions of them, where they took like the soundtracks of the old Doctor Who episodes and they added narration, usually read by an actor. Like they'd have the guy who played Fraser Hines, who played the companion would read linking narration for a story that featured him. And they had another one where, oh, I'm blanking out. Wendy Padbury did the same. She was a companion. But this was when Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, reading the narration versions, the narrative text around the Makra, which was an old Patrick Troughton story. And I just remember the description of the main setting of the entire story. The description was, and the description text was apparently written by John Nathan Turner, the producer of the show in the 80s. And the description of this main setting of the entire story was, the camp could be described as looking futuristic. And that was the only description we ever got of the camp, which is where the entire story was set. But, you know, in fairness, the guy didn't have visuals to work from, because if he did, they wouldn't be doing the audio story with narrative text. Something about this cabin makes your skin crawl on the alien ship. Perhaps it's merely the unpleasant colors and odd textures and disturbing angles of the ship. Despite your frequent contact with alien races, you've never encountered anything that seemed as inhuman as this ship. There are no controls in sight, but there is a sturdy pedestal in the exact center of the room. The pedestal is empty. The only other features of the cabin are some dots on the wall and the hatch leading out. Lying under the dots is a skeleton, the brittle remains of a member of some unfamiliar alien race. Examine skeleton. There's a skeleton key. No. It's fairly humanoid in shape. The most unusual feature of the alien skeleton is an unusually overdeveloped tongue case. Okay, so they got big tongues. Look at dots. The dots form a seemingly meaningless pattern. Each dot is a featureless black spot about a centimeter across. Floyd bounds in the room. Floyd, here now. I do remember, I kind of remember, or maybe I just had it spoiled by the hint book more recently, but I remember how you're meant to read the dots, but I don't feel like we've gotten a hint in the idea that there's an overdeveloped tongue case, but I really don't feel like I can do it now. Like, I don't feel like we've come across the thing in the game that's supposed to really tell you what to do, so it would be cheating. But eventually we can come back and overdeveloped tongue case, and the only other hint we've got is somebody said something about the linguistic skills of their friend, the chief, or the something. No, I don't even remember. I have to go back and check. Eventually we should be tipped off to what you're supposed to do with these dots to make sense out of them, but exit ship. Docking Bay 1, east. Level 6, southwest. Docking Bay 4, this is the station's smallest docking bay. You can enter the station to the east. East, level 6, look. Elevator button is east of you, next to the elevator shaft. We can go to the southeast. Huge doors lead northwest and southwest, small doors lead north and south. North, auxiliary barracks. These cubicles are for use by any visitors or station personnel beyond the normal complement. The entire barracks seems to be unused as well as deserted. The exit lies south and the barracks curve around to the east. East, auxiliary sandfac. This is the rather ordinary sandfac facility for the barracks to the north. A very sad voice, Floyd talks of Lazarus. North takes us back to the barracks. South takes us back to level 6. See, it's weird how it works sometimes. We go south again, we end up in Officers' Quarters A. This is a fairly comfortable two-person living quarter, significantly roomier than the barracks where most of the ship's personnel live. There's a door to the north and an opening leads southeast. Southeast. Officer Sandfac. Moderately luxurious sandfac with a pair of bathtubs in addition to regular fixtures. Look in bathtub. You can't look inside a sandfac fixture. Okay, the hull welder's approaching again. So we'll go back to the elevator, like the area with the elevator, and go southeast, end of corridor. The corridor, which widens off to the west, ends here. Doors lie to the east, north, south, and southwest. The door to the north must be a security door because there's an ID reader next to it. Put card in reader. Nothing happens. Okay. So the north is no good. South, southwest, and east. Let's try southwest because that should take us back to the officers' quarters. Okay, northeast. South. Officer quarters C. Oh, we've actually did not go into the... Okay, so officer quarters B and officer quarters C, they have the exact same descriptions. And get a sandfac. Look around the end of the corridor again. Hull welders approaching again. This is getting irritating. South and southwest didn't do me any good, so let's try east. The outer door opens a little sluggishly. It is pitch black. You hope there are no grooves. Nearby, you hear the welder move off in another direction. So we go back west, west, down. Printing plant. This level is frankly the station's entire reason for existence. Forms and documents are printed here for Stellar Patrol ships and Third Galactic Union officers all across this sector of space. The printing plant takes up this entire level except for a partitioned area which can be entered to the northwest. The elevator shaft lies to the east, as does the elevator button, and a ladder leads both upwards and downwards. You can see a trash can and a mauve nanospool here. It gets spool. We'll take it back and listen to it, but it's just going to give us the same. It'll break off and a voice will threaten us. When you see an item listed in a separate paragraph from everything else, like a trash can, you want look at trash can. You want to actually examine it. It's closed. You hear a rhythmic throbbing from somewhere below, like the beating of a gigantic mechanical heart. The noise grows louder until it is almost deafening, then slowly fades to silence. Save. Open can. Opening the trash can reveals a crumpled form. You hear a clanging noise from the deck below. Suddenly it stops. Floyd rushes into the room and barrels into you. Oops, sorry. Floyd not looking where Floyd was going to. Get form. As you try to grab the crumpled form, the mauve nanospool slips from your hands and both tumble to the floor. What can I drop? Drop diary and note and form. Get spool and crumpled form. Your clanging noise in the deck below, suddenly it stops. Look at form. Crumpled. It's an illegal Space Village entry form. It is pretty crumpled and has not been validated. Oh. Validate crumpled form. Done. Save 5. Can we go down? A few rungs down, you discover the ladder passage at level 8 is sealed off, apparently from below. Is there anywhere else to leave from here? Northwest is a partitioned area. Paper recycling plant. Outdated forms and expired files are reduced to pulp by this machinery. In addition, raw pulp is constantly being ferried into the station from nearby forest worlds. The output from this plant feeds the station's printing plant, which lies to the southwest. Someone has presumably been attempting to repair some machinery in this room because they left a drill lying around. It seems the drill contains a small drill bit. Get drill. Taken. Southeast. Save 5. Press button. Let's try using the elevator. Oops. Button. Feel a whoosh of warm air from the shaft. A few milliseconds later. Okay, well, the welder's now coming to kill us, so let's go east into the elevator. This is a large cubicle frame, open on all 4 sides. The elevator shaft encloses the elevator on every side except the west. There's a keypad for typing the number of the level you want to go to. Well, let's type 8 because we couldn't use the ladder to get to 8. The elevator winds momentarily but doesn't move. Press 9. Okay, press... I'm going to cheat a bit. What floor was the... was floor 6 the main floor where everything was going on? Because now we got a validated form to go to the village. I think it was 6. Oh, no, we want to go listen to that spool first because then I can drop the spool and have one less thing to carry around. So the spool reader was on in the library, and that was on level 2. So let's go to level 2. The elevator starts with a jerk, then moves up the shaft, stopping suddenly at another opening to the west. The sudden stop bumps you against the ceiling of the weightless elevator. West. Thick brown cup of coffee sits on one of the tables. Southeast library. Put Mauve spool in reader. Okay, put spool in reader. I think I spelled Mauve wrong, or it's not actually Mauve. Turn on reader. The reader, in a surprisingly human voice, says, Gamma Delta Gamma class deep space stations are equipped with a full range of collecting machinery. The workhorse of the common malfunction of this large collator. First check the lower from and replace with You will die, human. All humans will die. You will die, human. Turn off reader. Okay, the nanomachine reader's now off. Okay, I'm not going to do what you asked me to do. Now we're in the mess hall, and they're playing Hider Seeker. So if we go down to level, I think, 6. Auxiliary barracks. We're getting hungry again. I'm hoping that we can get food when we get to the what's the huge level? Oh, it's 5. Okay, let's go to level 5. I'm hoping that once we get to the village, we'll be able to get some food. So if we go like the iris hatch is closed. So look. Corridor widens as it reaches the hull of the station to the south, where a sub-module connection would be. There's a slot next to the hatch. Now, I had been sticking cards into slots, but the slots are actually for forms. So let's put form in slot. The form's crumpledness prevents it from sliding into the slot. Crap. Well, there was a laundry room where we found a press. That's on level 3, so let's go there. That's like... But that's serious presser. Yeah, that's serious puzzle game logic. Like, I think putting a piece of paper with writing on it into a steam press would render the form unreadable, I would think. Put form in presser. Press form. Okay, the presser is now closed. Plato tells Floyd one of the ancient legends of the early days of the settlement of the galaxy. Open presser. Oh. Close presser. Turn on presser. A trickle of steam begins leaking from the presser. Turn off presser. Okay, the presser's now off. Floyd starts talking about Lazarus again. Plato tells him not to be sad, but to remember the good times again. Floyd is just as blown away by this as he has been the last 30 fucking times. Open presser. Open presser reveals a neatly ironed, illegal space village entry form. Get form. Now we can go southeast, or east. The outer door opens sluggishly. As soon as you have passed through, it zooms shut, almost nipping your heels. Down, down, southeast, south, south. Put form in slot. The hatch begins irising open, then sparks and smokes and grinds to a halt. However, it's about half dilated, wide enough to pass through. Beyond, you can see a small, dingy connecting tube, rather than the clean and brightly lit sub-module connector you might have expected. Inventory. We are carrying a drill, a board, a bedister, a medium drill bit, a validation stamp, detonator, survival kit. Seems that the drill contains a small drill bit. Seems that the detonator contains a blackened hyperdiode. Seems the survival kit contains a blob of gray goo and a thermos bottle. I don't have my form anymore, so hopefully I won't need it again. So we go south. We're now in the grimy passage. This filthy north-south tube is quite a change from the gleaming, well-scrubbed metal of the space station. Floyd and Plato follow you. You're now really ravenous and your lips are quite parched. Eat gray goo. That tasted just like yummy Ramosian tree mold custard. Damn it! There's a whole welder wandering around in the village too. Because I want to drop the survival kit, but I'm thinking we might want to remove the thermos. Because it's possible whatever food source we find. I'm really hoping we find another food source in the village. Like in Planetfall, they gave us a certain amount of food, but eventually we had to get to the the machine that dispenses brown nutritional liquid. Hopefully there's something similar here, but we might need the thermos. Anyway, Let's go south. This large space tube is the main thoroughfare of a space village, which has sprung up here on the outskirts of the space station, which lies to the north. Rather than the bustling thoroughfares you might expect, however, there isn't a soul in sight. Openings lead up, northeast, south, and west. To the southeast, the street narrows and ramps downward. Nearby, you hear the welder move off in another direction. Let's go south first. Bank. This is a branch office of the First Galactic Bank of Nebulon. Hey, maybe if I deposit, like, for some reason I can deposit, like, 800,000 and take out any interest that's accrued once a month instead of doing 900,000, which would give me slightly more interest each month. Whatever, obviously I'm not that worried about it. You can see a platinum detector floating here. Sorry, I'm just joking around here. Here's the branch of... This is the branch office of the First Galactic Bank. There are doors to the north and northwest. Get thermos. Taken. Drop kit. Dropped, so to speak. What do you mean dropped, so to speak? Either I have it or I don't. I'm now carrying a thermos bottle, a drill, the board, pedestal, medium drill bit, validation stamp, and a detonator. I probably won't need that validation stamp again. I'm going to drop it. Dropped, so to speak. Oh, there's no gravity here. I guess. There's a platinum detector. Look at detector. What the hell is a platinum detector anyway? It looks like a platinum detector is off. Turn on detector. Okay, the platinum detector is now on. Turn off detector. Taking the platinum detector first. Okay, the platinum detector is now off. There's an exit to the northwest. Let's go out that way. Travel agency. This small space bubble with openings to the east and southeast is decorated with posters of exotic locales, but it's hard to imagine anyone in this rundown space town would be able to afford an interstellar pleasure jaunt. Main Street. So we can go up, we can go northeast. We've gone to the south and west. So northeast and up and southeast are still available to us for new stuff. So let's go southeast. Alley. There's no doubt that alley is the best word to describe this winding, garbage-strewn connector. Dark passages branch off in almost every direction, and the alley slopes upward to the northwest. Let's go southwest. Pawn shop. The three balls hanging by the northeastern entrance to this space hut indicate that a villager down on his or her luck could come here to hawk some valuable possession. Some destitute spacer was so hard up that he or she actually spawned a spray can. It's sitting here in the shop and has some lettering on it. Floyd and Plato follow you. Read lettering. You can't see any lettering here. Get. Can. Taken. Floyd and Plato are talking about how they like each other. Look at can. The lettering on the spray can reads, Easy Spray Spores, TM, a mixture of high-quality spores, lowest gas inducement levels of any brand. I'm not getting it. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'll figure it out in the meantime. But if you guys in the comments can tell me what you think the Easy Spray Spore can, the lowest gas inducement levels, what is actually going on here, I am not sure. Let us take a stroll, Floyd, says Plato, tucking his book under one arm. Tagging along after this simpleton human is becoming tiresome, he breezes out. Floyd hesitates, then follows. He just called me a simpleton? Now we're back in the alley. Let's go south. Loan shark. This is a dilapidated vessel that some seedy loan shark has moored on the south side of an alley. A fairly sturdy strong box is fastened to the floor, or maybe the ceiling. One can never be sure without gravity. Open box. The lock on the strong box is only slightly smaller than an average asteroid. Turn on drill. The drill won't turn on. The drill will turn on when you begin drilling. Drill lock. Footnote 5. You drill a hole in the strong box approximately the diameter of a toothpick. Footnote 5. Kids, drills are very dangerous. Don't try this at home without adult supervision. Footnote 8. Footnote 8. The author wishes to refute any claims that the use of the footnotes is a rip-off of the... Okay. Put medium bit in drill. You have to remove the bit that's in the drill first. Remove small bit. Put medium bit in drill. Drill lock. You engage the hole. You enlarge the hole in the strong box, now approximately the diameter of a pencil. Okay. So we're still not getting in there. Let's go north. Go southeast. Doc, in quotes, Schuster's. This physician's bubble is owned by the village quack, known to his friends as Doc Schuster, but known to the vast majority of the villagers as Schuster the Shyster. There's a small hole in the wall, probably the opening for a disposal chute. The dock is out, and in this case, out is northwest. You can see a letter and an ostrich floating here. Read letter. Taking the letter first. Doc, that ostrich nip you've been waiting for finally came in. Drop by and pick it up. If I'm not in, you'll find me in my ceiling panel. You'll find it in my ceiling panel. Drop letter. Check ceiling. Look at ceiling. There's nothing special about the ceiling. Open chute. I don't know the word chute, but you said there's a chute. Disposal chute. Open hole. You can't open a hole. Well, that's a good point, actually. Northwest alley. Floyd bounds into the room. Floyd here now, he cries. You notice that Plato is also roamed in view behind Floyd, once again absorbed in his reading. Insult Plato, because he called us a simpleton. Plato, help. Plato's volume of poetry must be engrossing because he didn't hear you. Once again, okay, so we're now looking around the alley. It really just tells us that there's paths in every direction. Let us take a stroll, Floyd. Let us take a stroll, Floyd. Tagging along after this simpleton human is becoming tiresome. We go east. Studio. You have entered a cluttered space bubble in which an artist has been attempting to build a sculpture in the style of a 91st century scrap art. The sculpture is floating in the center. Oops. Second glance, you realize that the sculpture is simply a pile of random garbage. Junkyard. This outdated dry dock is now a messy junkyard. A huge pile of floating junk fills the center of the bubble. Passages lead upwards and west. Of all the items floating in the scrap heap, the pair of magnetic space boots looks to be in the best shape. Save. 5. It's about time to call it a video, and if I recall from previous games, magnets. How the fuck do they work, yo? No, magnets can be bad news in this game. In this series, rather. I am pretty sure that if we wear the magnet boots while carrying our ID card will get scrambled. Which means the question is, what are we going to need first? Magnetic boots or an ID card? I don't really know. So I'm going to call it a video so I have a chance to think. I guess whoever got in this ostrich nip for Doc Schuster, we need to find out who that was so we can check their ceiling panel for ostrich nip. Or that's a giant red herring. I do think we need to use the ostrich for something. I don't really know. A lot of stuff has opened up now that we're in the village, because as I accidentally found out, I kind of spoil isn't really the right word, but when I opened up the actual game map, just trying to figure out how to get from one place to another, I found out there's a lot of rooms to visit in this village. So the whole thing of find the crumpled form, press it flat, read the captain's log, find out that the captain's stamp is hidden under his bed, validate the illegal form, like that series of little puzzles was pretty big towards getting us out here. But I'm really interested in finding some food. Hopefully we'll find some next time. I'm the Serious JG. Thanks for watching. I hope you will tune in next time as we continue exploring the dilapidated village of the dilapidated station of Stationfall.